What's up, board game people? It's another big week on crowdfunding, and this week one of the heavy hitters launched. Stonesaga from OOMM Games launched on Tuesday, and they're definitely pushing the bar on quality and player experience with their newest game. Let's take a look. Before I begin, I'd like to welcome Jan Jorgensen as the newest member of our Patreon. Thank you so much for your generous support. It means the world to me. I would also like to say thank you to all of my Patreons whose awesome backing allows me to remain independent, honest, and unfiltered. It's with their support that I'll be able to continue to expand coverage and the quality of the channel. This world is a strange and wonderful place, but it's also perilous. In your new home, at the heart of a glacial valley, man is not at the top of the food chain. You must flow with the wind and not struggle against it to survive. If the plants and predators don't get you, the behemoths just might. Each of these massive forces of nature are unique amongst themselves. They might be your society's rival, companion, deity, or demon. The valley is expansive and diverse. It could make a good home for your people, or it could be their tomb. The most important part of this world is your people. They must explore their world, uncover its many mysteries, make story become legend, and write their own path. Your choices at their most critical moments will determine their fate. Will they survive, thrive, or merely disappear into the pictures they leave scribbled on the cave walls? Stonesaga is a cooperative survival crafting campaign game set in a persistent world. You will guide your prehistoric civilization through its moments of crisis. You'll help them to endure through scarcity, natural disaster, factional infighting, and more. The challenges are real, and your choices will have lasting impacts that will live on to become history. You'll need to direct your people to explore their world, harvest precious resources, craft tools and equipment, and find solutions to the problems that they face. Each play session is an adventure unto itself. You'll be presented with new roles and new challenges to overcome. Your people will create a unique saga that's told through glyphs on your cave wall. Your record of what came before may possibly stand the test of time. The game has many layers that the campaign page does a wonderful job of quickly explaining. With Stonesaga, you can expect generational storytelling. Each session will see gaps of years, decades, or even epochs. You will be present for the pivotal moments. You'll gather resources, some to survive and others to build and craft with. Your people will need tools and weapons, but even more, they need sustenance to thrive. Every player has a place at the table and something to contribute to the whole. Each character possesses a unique mantle, granting them powers that strengthen the group. Exploration is key. There are many mysteries, secrets, wonders, and perils to be discovered beyond the relative safety of your home. If the struggle of survival was not enough, you also have the behemoths, which you'll eventually have to deal with. These creatures are unrestrained forces of nature, and you must learn to survive in the midst of them. Stonesaga offers true solo play that won't leave you powerless to care for your people. Instead, you'll become an advanced scout with key advantages to offer a chance in the face of great adversity. The persistence of the game is real. Your people leave their mark on the world for later generations to discover and learn from. You'll create heroes who will in time become legend. It's also easy for players to drop in or out between sessions. You can mix and match mantles to your liking, and experiment to see what works best for you. The core box is stocked full of quality components that make all of this play not only possible, but convenient and easy to manage. Tile trays help preserve your maps between sessions, and to make setup a snap. Double-layered player boards hold everything in place and even allow for a Tetris-like inventory system. The miniatures are not the focus of the game, but they're plentiful enough to make a great representation of what's happening on the board. Stonesaga even contains a removable token tray to help keep everything in its place and ready to grab at a moment's notice. Stonesaga is expanded by 2 expansions introduced right off the bat. Meals and Myths adds a 5th player, a new behemoth, a new region, new cooking components, a cookbook, and new meals that offer unique bonuses. Nature of the Beast will add more animal companions to the game. It also adds a new region, new mantle powers, and much more. Stonesaga is being offered in English, German, French, and Polish. Now that we know a little better what Stonesaga is, let's take a look at how you can get your hands on it. Pledges are rather simple, being that there are only 2 levels currently. The core box runs around $99 US. This will get you the Stonesaga core box and all applicable stretch goals. Then, the core box and expansions pledge will run around $198 US and get you the core box, the Meals and Myths expansion, the Nature of the Beast expansion, and all applicable stretch goals. In the way of add-ons, there aren't many just yet, but that will quickly change. They're revealing new add-ons throughout the campaign, and their first offering is a recharge pack that will allow you to start over with a clean slate for $10. Remember, the core game comes with enough materials for multiple playthroughs. You can also pick up each of the expansions for $55 each. Stretch goals for the project are monetary and in Canadian dollars. So far, they've unlocked expanded foraging, 5 new challenge cards, expanded fishing, and a new region for the core box. They've also unlocked expanded cooking, 20 more recipe cards for the Meals and Myths expansion, a 6th animal companion, and wetlands foraging for the Nature of the Beast expansion. On the horizon, we have many more stretch goals to come, including a huge one at the $1 million mark that remains a mystery. They offer estimated shipping fees and a table at the bottom of the campaign page. For the US, where I know what it should cost to ship a game, the prices seem spot on and very fair, especially seeing how much content is being offered. That is not included in your pledge and will be charged in the Pledge Manager. My thoughts on Stonesaga. I'll start off by saying bravo to Out of My Mind Games for putting together a textbook example of a campaign page. They lay out a ton of information with almost all the elements you'd want to see in a clear, concise, and functional manner. The only things that I missed on the page would have been a better description of what the expansions add to gameplay and the money shot of all the components laid out in the core game in a single photo. They do have a great example of a setup play session, so that's just a minor gripe. The price of the core is at the high end of what you might expect to spend on a core for most similar games, and when I see a price in that upper region, I want to see that they're delivering on both a great experience and quality components that justify the cost. Here they've done just that. Thick cardboard components, utilitarian inserts and organizers, quality miniatures with solid sculpts, everything here looks great and uncompromised. This game has a lot of depth to it. There are many levels which you'll be playing at. You're a hunter-gatherer, you're a toolmaker, you're a builder, and most importantly, you're a leader, and the gameplay take every aspect of your character's responsibilities into account. They actually leave some of the best parts off the game page. The raw mechanics are time-tested, but they're also fun and combined in a way that's creative and effective. Inventory management is a mini-game. Each resource you harvest is different shaped, and your character can only hold what they can fit flat in the bag space on their character board. Fishing is a wonderful system with a bit of push your luck, where you're trying to maximize the yield and minimize the costs. Crafting is a patterns game. Items combine in predictable ways to produce a wider range of different products, tools, weapons, and more. You don't ever get a good shot of the huge item deck and no explanation of how crafting actually works on the page. Again, all minor gripes. Their page is well done enough you can get a sense of whether you want to back or not based just off a scroll down the page. If you want a more in-depth look, check out some of the videos they link. One thing that OOMM Games has absolutely nailed with Stonesaga is the art direction. The style and palette is used perfectly across the game. The use of warm colors and cool colors here is especially effective. They have their own art style that stretches across all their games, but they do a wonderful job of making each game's art completely unique also. From Stars of Akurios to Mythwind to Stonesaga, you can see a game and immediately know it's theirs. Their style is transformed and evolved from game to game, and Stonesaga, in a lot of ways, is the pinnacle and the product of all the experience they picked up along the way. The game is beautiful. I don't think Stonesaga is really a table hog either. The map is intentionally compact. Sure, it will expand over time, and even more so when you add in new expansions with new regions. But it all seems quite manageable for a medium-sized table. Their true solo mode is a huge plus, and this is a game I'd love to play both cooperatively and solo. I almost assuredly will be having a solo playthrough at some point. The concept of generational storytelling is really great too. They have Mythwind that focuses in on the minutiae and the intimate progression of a little village. Here will be giant leaps of time between scenarios. You get to skip all the boring grind and have a clear goal to accomplish for each play session. The behemoths are also an incredible addition to the formula. These aren't hunt targets. They aren't sworn enemies of your people. They're nature incarnate that because you cannot simply defeat, you'll have to learn to cope with and adapt to their presence. They're a bit of a random modifier that you may have to deal with for a little bit. They also give the chance to make the best of what could be a bad situation. They don't have to be a problem. Perhaps they can become a solution. It's the depth of the game that really had me sold. The focus isn't on a single concept, but survival as a whole. The game looks engrossing, and the promise of raising a civilization from nothing is exciting. The 30-plus hour campaign feels like enough without being too much, and helps justify the premium price as well. I don't think Stonesaga will be for everyone, but no game is for everyone. The price here may be cried over, but it's a reasonable asking for the quality, content, and experience the core game offers. The expansions may be a tad overpriced, especially purchased separately, but with the direction that the stretch goals are heading, they're looking better and better. With reveals of new add-ons to come, I feel there may still be room for another expansion and possibly an all-in pledge. If they can keep that all-in to $250 and continue to add value to the expansions, I think you're probably going to get a great deal. As is, the core and expansions pledge isn't a horrible deal, and at least for me, I believe it'll be worth it. Stonesaga looks wonderful, and it's an easy back for me. What about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to back responsibly too. I'll be back very soon with a quick news flash, more campaign guides, and a whole collection of other videos. Thanks to everyone watching and commenting, and again, thank you to all of my awesome Patreon members. If you have a little spare change, go check out our Patreon page and consider becoming a member. Every dollar helps. Have a great week, get ready for the Gen Con housing rush, and play something dicey tonight.